UFC 328, obviously, this weekend. We talked about the main event, we talked about the co-main event, we talked about the third big fight on the card. It is the heavyweights. So we've got Alexander Volkov, ranked number 2 at heavyweight, going against Waldo Cortes Acosta, ranked number 4. I'm kind of taking this as the number 1 contender fight in the fact of, obviously, we know the massive, I don't even know what to call it, fight in Aspinall v Garn, the eye poke. Tom Aspinall's been out for ages. Then, obviously, on the White House card, we've got Alex Pereira stepping up to heavyweight, going against Cyril Garn for the interim title. So, obviously, Tom's going to be fighting the winner. And then after that, Cyril's not going to get another chance. It will most likely be the winner of this fight, I would like to think. But you know how we're going to do it. We're going to talk about Volkov. We're going to talk about Acosta. So let's get into it. So Alexander Volkov has been in the UFC for ages now. He's one of the best heavyweights we've ever had, beating some of the old guys, the new guys. He's fought everyone. This guy has not skipped a beat, in fact, facing the best guys. He's not afraid to fight anyone. He'll fight anyone, anywhere, anytime. I feel a bit bad for Volkov. He never got the title shot, especially in the Garn rematch. I think we all know he should have won that, but sadly he didn't. But his record is 39 wins with 11 losses, with 24 big wins coming by KO, 4 submissions, and 17 by first round finish. Now, his big wins, obviously, last time out, Jolton Almeida. He's beat Tai Tuivasa when Tuivasa was ranked. He's beaten Sergey Plakovic when, Plakovic come off the KO, lost to Tom Aspinall, but he was still the big threat, KO and everyone left, right, centre. He beat Jairzinho Rosenstruck, another massive powerhouse. Alistair Overeem, one of the older guys, and obviously Maurizio Verdum. So he's got some massive wins there. A former champion in, obviously, Verdum. His losses, he's lost to Derek Lewis. Derek Lewis is one of the, probably the hardest hitting heavyweights we've ever had. Maybe him or Ngannou. Curtis Blades is another underrated person. He's lost to Cyril Garn twice. The first one was an all-out shutout from Garn. The second one was very competitive, and realistically, Volkov should have won. I think we all know that as hardcore fans. And he's lost to the current champion in Tom Aspinall. So all his big losses, Derek Lewis fought for an interim title. So has Curtis Blades. Garn's fought for, 3 world titles, and now going in for an interim. Also, Garn is a former interim champion, and he's lost to a world champion in Tom Aspinall. So they're not bad losses at all, to be fair. I feel like Volkov's always been one step away from that title shot. He gets to the point where he has to win that next one to then get a title shot, and never gets it done. But I think for Volkov, striking definitely, keep it long ranging. What is he, like 6'7" or 8? Or, people even think he might be a bit taller than that. He's absolutely huge. He is a massive heavyweight. He's got a ton of experience. He's been here before against these younger guys, and he's got the job done most of the time. I mean, the 24 KOs is impressive. Not many people can say, yeah, I've got, over double-digit KOs, especially then going into the 20s with KOs. It's super impressive. Big stuff there. Waldo Cortes is going to be a problem. Waldo Cortes has been on an absolute tear since he's joined the UFC. But Costa can definitely do it. He needs to keep it rangy, use his fronties, use his kicks, use his combinations, because Volkov is a heavyweight. He likes to use his hands and combos. I mean, the way he finished Alistair Overeem, I think it was like a backhand, and then he's kind of stepped through with it and a big old hook to finish him off. But let's talk about Waldo Cortes Acosta, ranked number 4 at heavyweight, rightly so. This guy has been non-stop inside the UFC. He's taken fight after fight after fight. I think last year he's fought 4 times, won 3 out of the 4, and obviously lost. I mean, he's 17-2 with 9 KOs, 1 submission, and 5 round finishes. As well, what's also impressive, people say, he's a decision machine. Well, not anymore. All of a sudden, Cortes is coming in and finishing people left, right, centre. I mean, last time out against Derek Lewis, that was a bit of a weird one. It was a jab, Lewis dropped, and he, got the job done. Anthony Delija KO'd him, but that was a very weird one as well. Kind of Delija finished him, the ref called it off, and then it was actually an eye poke, so then the fight got kind of called back on, and then Cortes obviously won. So, he also knocked out Shamil Gaziev, and he's beaten Sergey Spivak. Listen, they're all big wins there, especially to get the Derek Lewis one. His only losses inside the UFC are to DeLima, who DeLima was a top 15 guy at one point. Very powerful guy. And to Sergey Plakovic. And Plakovic, obviously, is one of the hardest hitters going, but went the distance with Plakovic, so he's got a chin on him. For Cortes, I think he needs to mix it up. Cortes is very good. Obviously, he's got the striking, he's got the ground stuff. I know he hasn't got many finishes by submission or stuff, but he can hold his own wherever the fight goes. I would like Waldo Cortes Acosta to win this. I like Volkov, I really do. I just think Waldo Cortes has just been on an absolute run. He's on a 3-fight winning streak currently. To keep it going, it'll be interesting for him to go against these, the next thing in the fact of a Cyril Gane, your Thomas Mills, your Alex Pereira now, and all that. So it'll be interesting to get him into the mix. Heavyweight's slowly starting to get some, I wouldn't say hype again, but there's a resurgence happening with some heavyweights, and Waldo Cortes Acosta is definitely in that. He's probably leading the mix of the new breed of heavyweights going. What obviously I'm happy about. Heavyweight's such a boring weight class, but it's good we're getting new, young heavyweights coming into it. I mean, what you like Tom Aspinall, Cortes, Pinto, Brando Perovic, sorry. You're getting new guys coming in, what's good, and it's definitely what the heavyweight division needs. But my predictions for this one, I am going to go with Waldo Cortes, and I'm going to go with a decision over the 3 rounds. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Let me know who you think's going to win. Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think Volkov's going to win? How do you think it's going to finish? If it's going to finish at a decision, a submission, a KO, let me know. Make sure to drop a subscribe as well. Be much appreciated. We're nearly at 100. And also make sure to drop that like button. But enjoy the show Saturday night, guys.